Hello, guys. It's Angelo Christian with another great edition of Real Estate Insider. And today we're going to be talking about how much house can you actually afford? And a lot of people, it's mythical. They don't know, and it's very ambiguous. We get people that call up here all the time, and they either don't know how much they can qualify for when they're trying to buy a home, or they, have a champagne taste with a Walmart, type of, income or diet. And it's really important that you know exactly how a lender or an underwriter actually looks at what you can qualify for. And so that way, you know where you want your payment to be and what your eligibility is. And today we're going to go work through the math and have you guys explain to you when you're buying a house, how payments are calculated and how much payment, how much house can you actually afford. So that's what the basis of today is. And so we're going to kind of go through it so you can see what comprises of a payment and how much you can afford. So the first thing is that whenever you're making a mortgage payment, you have many factors inside of the mortgage payment. Okay. So I want to kind of break that down. The first thing that you have is you have your principal. This is what comprises a mortgage payment. So you have your mortgage payment equals PITI. Okay? That's what a mortgage is. So the first thing you have is you have your principal and interest. Okay? So if you're buying a $200,000 home, for example, and the interest rate's at 4.5%, the payment is $1,013.40. And I just use this simple calculator right here to determine that. $1,013.40. So that's the principal and interest is 1013.40. Okay? Then that stands for the P&I. Then you have the taxes. All right? So the taxes are, the taxes on the home. And this typically, let's just use 1% of the home's value. So if the home is worth, in our example, if the value is 200,000, then you multiply that by 1%. That's $2,000 for the annual taxes. So 2,000 divided by 12 comes out to $166.70 per month. So the taxes are 166.7. And then you have insurance. Now there's many different types of insurance. There's mortgage insurance, there's homeowners insurance, there's flood insurance, there's windstorm and hail. So it depends on the property. So let's say that this was an FHA loan and you have insurance. You have homeowners insurance, which is HOI. And typically homeowners insurance is about 0.5% of the value of the home. So 0.5%, 200,000 times 0.5% is $1,000 a year. So divided by 12 comes out to $83 a month. And the HOI stands for homeowners insurance policy. So the homeowners insurance policy is $83 a month. And then you have mortgage insurance, which is PMI. PMI is private mortgage insurance. And let's say that's an FHA loan, that's at 0.85% of the amount financed. So whatever, it's not the purchase price or the value, it's the amount financed. So if you're buying a $200,000 home with FHA and you're putting 3.5% down, then you'd be financing 193. So you take 193, how to calculate the private mortgage insurance, you take 193,000 times 0.85%, right? And then you divide that by 12 months. And that's how you determine what the monthly private mortgage insurance is. So if we take 193,000 times 0.85%, it comes out to $1,640 per year, which is $136.71 per month. So the PMI is 136.71. Okay. So all of these things comprise of your total mortgage payment, right? So when you add them all up, you have 1,013.40, 136.71 for the private mortgage insurance, $83 for the homeowner's insurance, and $166 a month for taxes, which comes out to $1,399.80. So the total payment in this example is the total payment, and I'll just put it up here so you guys can see. Can they see down here? Okay, okay. So the total payment when you add everything together is $1,399.80. Okay. When you add everything, just the mortgage is $1,013 a month, but then you add everything together, that's how you get the total mortgage payment. Now, in different parts of the country, it could be different. If you live by the ocean, you might be required to have windstorm and hail insurance, and that could add another insurance policy. That could add an extra $100 a month or $50 a month to your payment. But that's how we determine what the total house payment is. You're always going to have taxes. You're always going to have insurance. Depending on the type of loan, if you do a conventional loan or you put more money down, you may not have as much mortgage insurance. But that's how, in this example, on a $200,000 home, how they calculate what your total payment. So that's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and that's how it's calculated in this example. So now, as far as how they determine how much can you qualify for, we're going to take a look at that now. So we'll break it down. So let's say that, and I'll show you how they look at it. It's called debt to income ratio. You've probably heard of debt to income ratio before. That's how they determine how much house you can afford. So for example, with USDA, on a USDA loan, the maximum, there's two different types of debt ratios. There's a housing ratio and there's a back end debt ratio, right? So the max housing ratio for USDA is 29% to 33%, depending on your credit score. For FHA, it's, let's just say on average, it could be anywhere from 35% to 48% for your housing ratio. And I'll explain what housing ratio, how we calculate that. Conventional, it just depends on your credit. Is usually anywhere from 29 to, let's just say 43%. Okay. And this is the housing rate. This is not your back end debt ratio with all your bills. This is just your house payment. So what that means is that if you make, let's just say that we have somebody that makes $5,000 a month in income. In this example, the income, I don't like the way that looks. So if the income is, let's say your income is $5,000 a month, okay, you simply take the 5K, multiply by this percentage, and that's the most house payment you're allowed to have. So 5,000 times 29% is 1,450. So 5,000 times 29% equals 1,450. So that's saying that on a USDA loan, that's kind of like the maximum at 29%, the house payment you can have, right? On an FHA loan, if you do 5,000 times, let's just say 35%, That's 1750. Now that's not the maximum, but that will tell you how much house you can get, right? So that way, if you know your income's 5,000, you multiply by this, and that will tell you that's how much home you can go up to. With FHA, if you make 5,000 a month and you have a really high credit score of 700 plus, you can have a house payment of 48% of your income. You may not want that, and it doesn't mean you have to spend that, but you can go up to that. So 5,000 at 48% of your income is a $2,400 house payment. That's kind of scary though when you think about half your income is going towards just your house payment. So, but it gives you an idea so you can budget the type of home that you want to look at, right? So if you're making, 5,000 a month and you say, well, what can I qualify for? How much house can I afford, Angelo? Well, you just simply multiply it times these factors right here to determine that 5,000 on a uh, USDA loan, that I can't have a house payment over 1650 a month. So my payment's got to be somewhere between 1450 to 1650 a month. And if we look back on the example we just saw, that you have your taxes, you have your insurance, and your mortgage, and you plug all that in to see how much the house you can go up to. So now, again, it doesn't mean that you have to spend that much money on your house. It just means that's what you can go up to. You don't have to spend that much. Just means what you can go up to. So now the way that they look at for the total back end ratio, I'll show you that here too. So you can see for back end debt ratio for USDA, the maximum is 44%. Okay, FHA, 56%. Okay, conventional, 50%. Okay, so this is your total debt ratio. So again, let's use the example that you make 5K in income. Okay, but now you have bills. We all got bills, right? Lord knows we do. We want to get rid of them. But now in the bills, this doesn't include rent, cost of living, food, stuff like that. This is stuff that gets reported on your credit report or, credit cards, car payments, student loans, child support, IRS, judgments, stuff like that. If you have that type of stuff, that gets plugged into this back end debt ratio. So let's say that you have, credit cards of $100, car payment, 500. Um, let's say you got student loans 200. So your total is $800. Okay, $800 in bills. All right. Then what you do is, let's say that you're looking at a $200,000 home. All right, and we saw in the previous example that a $200,000 home, that the payment was about $1,500 a month. So if the payment on a $200,000 home is $1,500, then you would add that $1,500 here, and the total is $2,300, right? So that's your total outflow versus your inflow. So that's what debt ratio is. That's what debt to income ratio is. It's your total income, cash coming in, versus your total outflow, cash going out, right? So how they do the math is they're going to look at it and say, okay, well, you have 5,000 coming in, Angelo, and then you have 2,300 going out. So they're going to take this and then put your outflow in the numerator, the top part, and your income in the denominator, and divide that. So 2,300 divided by 5 grand is 50%. So 2,300 over 5K equals 50%. So can you do a USDA loan? No, you can't do a USDA loan because your debt ratio is too high for the maximum for USDA. Can you do conventional? Yes, you can. Can you do FHA? Yes, you can. But you can't do a USDA loan for that price. Now, if you go down in the price, then you can do a USDA loan. But your total debt ratio has to be below 44%. So your price has to go down if you want USDA. But if you say, Angela, I want this house, I don't care about the loan program, I just want the house, well, then we got to look at one of these programs right here, either FHA or conventional. Okay? Because this program doesn't allow more than a 44%. So you can do it with FHA or in this example. Now, to get to a 44%, you probably have to go to like a $160,000, $170,000 home to get to that debt ratio. And credit scores do play a role in this, but that's how you determine how much house you can actually qualify for. So, and this is what we specialize in. You know, we pre-approve people every single day. We're one of the nation's largest providers of FHA, VA, and USDA. You know, I'm the president here. We help over 1,000 families every single month. We go down to a 550 credit score. We offer free credit repair, free credit restoration. We have grants to help people to up to $15,000 for their closing costs. We also provide the realtor for people, and we offer insurance as well with all of our homes, home protection. In case anything ever happens to you, your house will be paid off. So it's an all-in-one package. So if you're ever looking to buy a house or you want more information, you can give me a call. I work on it directly with you with my team. I can be reached at 832-431-6331. My name's Angelo Christian. Like I said, we're a nationwide lender. We do all different types of lending: construction, renovation, FHA, jumbo, self-employed, no documentation, bankruptcy, mobile homes, you name it, condo, co-ops, all different types, all 50 states. So if you're looking to get help to buy a home, I'm considered one of the nation's premier experts with lending. This is my business. I've been doing this for over 13 years, and we help over 1,000 families all over the country every single month. And this is how you look at how much house can you afford, you know, based on your income, based on your debt ratio, the loan program that you're going to do. If you want more information, call me directly at 832-431-6331, or you can also message me on social media. You can DM me on Instagram, Facebook. Leave something down in the chat below if you have any questions, you want to learn more. We produce great content on our media. 3 shows every single week: Angelo Christian, Real Estate Insider, Learning Hub, and Influencer. So really glad. Hope you got some great takeaways out of this. Remember that when you're trying to calculate how much you qualify for, take your gross income. That's gross income before taxes are taken out, and multiply that by the proper factors for either FHA, USDA, or conventional. Remember that there's 2 debt ratios. There's a front end and a back end. And you have to keep in mind both of them, and you have to be below both of them when you're trying to buy a house. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. We'll see you again next week.